Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of The Furniture with me, Daniel. It's Season 7, Episode 5, and today we go away to the mighty Crystal Palace, and remarkably before the start of the game, we're above them in the league. That's because we've stuck with our tactic, we persisted, we said it would work eventually, and finally it has. We've gone on a little run, which means we're competing in the top half now. I know we're not going to be there for long, but we can enjoy it while it lasts, and most importantly, we've got a 10-point gap back to West Ham, who are still in the relegation zone despite being early season favourites for promotion. Most remarkably today though, the Crystal Palace side we're managing in the middle of the Championship, bearing in mind we're only 6 years into the future, Mauricio Pochettino is in charge of them. A bit of a fall from grace that. Let's go and have a look at what happened to him. He managed Tottenham for one season, then went straight to Burnley. So he was at Tottenham until March in the first season where he was sacked. So they obviously went out of the group stages in the Champions League. Where were they in the league? They must have been so low down. Tottenham finished the first season. Let's go and have a look. They were 6th place, so it's hardly disastrous. It looks like the club have got unrealistic expectations. Since then, they've done okay. Have they finished higher than that, Tottenham? What did they do since? So they've finished above every season since, but never higher than 3rd. I'm a bit surprised by that one, in all honesty. He then went straight to Burnley, which seems a bit strange. After 5 good years at Spurs, you'd imagine he'd still get a pretty good job. And now he's ended up at Palace after over 2 years of unemployment. It's all going a bit strangely there, and he's only been at the club a week and a half, so it could be the new manager effect here. Let's see what his stats are like. They're still exceptional. How he's not got a better job, I don't know. It seems that his reputation's just taken a massive hit. If we'd have known that, we would have been a bit more cautious rather than going out to attack this game. But let's go and have a look at the results since you were last with me. It's all going really nicely now. Since that Sunderland game in the last episode, we have not lost a league match. We've only won about half of the ones we've played, but most importantly, we've been unbeaten. So we drew 3-3 at home to Derby, a late equaliser from Reece Williams in that one. Bobby Duncan got another goal for himself as well. We drew 1-1 away at West Ham. Obviously that was important at the time. We were just a point above them, and we made sure we stayed out of the relegation zone. That was probably the catalyst for the good run that followed. Aaron Shibola getting the goal in that one. We won 4-3 away at Leeds in what was a yo-yo game. We went 4-1 up. It was absolutely brilliant. We were 1-0 down very early on, 4-1 up with 15 minutes to go, and into stoppage time in fact, before we conceded 2 very late goals to make it a grandstand nervy finish. But we hung on, and that was the important thing. Owen Jack getting a brace among other goal scorers in that one, which was perhaps the most important thing for him, as he'd been on a little goalless run before. We then won 2-1 at home to Preston, Bobby Duncan with a late winner. We went behind early in the second half but came back. All 3 of the scorers were our players. Polworth getting another goal as he becomes increasingly important in that number 10 role as a backup to David Crawford. And then we drew 1-1 away at Fulham, Bobby Duncan getting the goal again for us. That was in the first half. Fulham came back, but don't forget this season, they're the runaway Championship leaders. They're 12 points clear of the pack, and the fact we got a draw against them was absolutely brilliant. Into December then, we've won both games so far. A narrow 2-1 win at home to Birmingham. Matty Daly equalised for them after a goal from Baldock in the first half, but Matt Butcher off the bench got a late winner to give the fans absolute jubilation at home. And then we won 2-0 away to Brentford as well. Owen Jack and Armando Broja scored in that one as our strikers continue to make an impact at Championship level. And speaking of our strikers, we've got some very good news ahead of the January transfer window. We were looking at some of the scout reports that we'd got, and we couldn't see any really good players available for transfer. There were 1 or 2 who could be loaned in, but obviously we had the maximum number of loan players in the squad. So I tried to take an outside the box approach. There are a few of our loan players who were absolutely brilliant, and we love to keep on at the club. So we got some offers accepted for them. Unfortunately, one of them rejected us. That was Tagzef, the central midfielder. But Armando Broja has confirmed he will rejoin the club for £400,000. And just look at this bit of business again. We sold him to West Brom for £575,000. We got nearly £2 million as a sell-on clause. We had 50% of the next sale and sold it on where our director of football had agreed a deal. And now we've bought him back for £400,000, having loaned him 3 times since as well. Unbelievable business again, and just like Reece Williams, that one's turned out brilliantly. The other one we're in talks with is Bobby Duncan. The only slight issue is that he wants £9,500 a week, which would blow our wage bill out of proportion, so I'm not sure if we can do that yet, but again he would be a brilliant signing. The reason that could be more important is Owen Jack is starting to get a lot of interest due to his form here. There's links for a £7 or £8 million bid from a couple of teams, and as we said before the season, if we get to 10 million, we probably can't turn it down. He's actually rated our best striker at the club now as he continues to improve, and he's going to be an absolute superstar and will probably make it in the Premier League. The other ones who are getting a lot of interest are David Crawford, who I'm contemplating selling because it could make our tactical decisions a bit easier. Chelsea are the club that want him, the club that obviously offers us £92,000 a week to manage them in the summer, and although he's a very good player, he's not irreplaceable and he misses so many games due to his poor fitness anyway. My only worry since we tried to sign Tagzef is that he's now wanted by other clubs as well, and if they agree a deal with him, then we won't be able to get him and keep him on loan either. There's a recall clause in the loan, and Liverpool can call him back whenever they want, which could be a problem for us. The likes of Adam Lewis, Ian Brunt and Reece Williams are all still wanted as well, so it could be a very busy January as we look to try and pay for our stadium. Hopefully the board won't be able to refuse if we make another 10 million, but we'll soon wait and see on that one. The other cheap signing that we're trying to bring in, our scouts had picked this guy up and he looks an absolute find in that attacking midfield role, but can also play up front and in the centre of midfield. It means we wouldn't need to utilise Polworth if we've still got Crawford here, or if Crawford leaves we've got a direct replacement. Ricky Ash is an attacking midfielder. He's at Charlton on loan from Reading in the Championship. He's been rotating for them, and at 22 he's just got really high potential, good fitness, decent technicals and mentals. It's just about developing him and giving him some game time at the higher level, which we'd be more than happy to do. So that's one that could be done as well, and you can see even if all 3 of those deals go across the line, that's £1.3 million and frees up 2 loan spaces in the A team. So hopefully in January we'll be able to be busy in the loan market then, where there are far better opportunities available to us. With our reputation at the moment, it's very hard to get players in on a transfer from the higher levels. But that's enough about transfers, contracts and all matters off the pitch. Let's get into the game against Crystal Palace. 10 points clear of relegation, and we're in that position where we're just 4 points off the playoffs, although that's absolutely not going to happen this year. Perhaps the main reason for our success is bar Nico Williams. We've had 6 or 7 weeks where we haven't had any injuries in the squad, and I think that's just meant we've been able to play our first 11 every week. Obviously there's been no international since mid-November as well, which has really helped keeping Crawford fit with just a match a week. So I think we will probably slide towards the end of the season, but it leaves me with plenty of confidence that we could now stay up. If we manage to get a result out of either this one or Bradford at home in the next game, I'll be really confident heading into the January window. But let's have a look at the lineup for today. We're pretty much at full strength. I've just noticed I've left the injured Butcher on the bench, so let's go and sort that one out. I don't know who we can bring in for him because unfortunately we've got the 5 lone players in the squad already. I think Johnny Byrne coming back from injury will go in the squad, and perhaps then we'll bring Wakeling in for Davis instead. So we've got a very attacking bench as a result of some of the injuries we've had, and the players coming back are all defensive ones. So we've got 4 defenders on the bench essentially, and just 2 or 3 attacking players, one of them a youngster who probably won't get on. So our lineup for today is pretty much as you'd expect. Nico Williams is back from injury, but he's not quite match fit yet. We've been reducing him to sub appearances for now, as we've tried to get him back and confident to play in matches. He's not got the best natural fitness as it is, so we want to look after him where possible. Ralston's been doing alright in the right wing back role, so we'll keep him there for now. It means we've got Alex Bass in goal, Marco Baldock and Williams are the 3 centre-halves, Ralston and Lewis the wing-backs with Shibola and Tagzeth in the middle, and then David Crawford. One slight tactical tweak we've made there, we've dropped him to a supporting advanced playmaker role, firstly to try and protect his fitness, and then secondly to also ensure that we've got a bit more of a structure defensively. Similarly, we've dropped the wing-backs back. They were on a complete wing-back duty, now they're just standard wing-backs on support. We've got Owen Jack and Bobby Duncan up front, and Brogues there on the bench if we need him. Between the three of them, they've got 22 goals this year, and that's absolutely remarkable for us. Owen Jack competing at the higher levels, and Broja's going to be rejoining us permanently. Everything's going as well as it could be, and we'll get into today's game, hoping we can spring another surprise. We'll be back in a second for the kick-off against Palace. 4-2-3-1 for Palace then. We mentioned before it's the formation we come up against so much. They've got Steve Cook at centre-half, who was obviously a bit of a hero in our other series, a bit earlier on during our career in that one. They've still got the likes of Mamadou Sakho at centre-half. They've got Angus Gunn, who's a great goalkeeper, Paddy McNair and a few other familiar names too, Mason Bennett, who's currently at Derby, and Hamza Chowdhury from Leicester as well. But let's go and talk to the lads. We'll tell them to prove a point because that's what Sean Taylor wants. We've told them to put on a worthy display, and they seem to have had a great reaction to that. So let's hope we can shock another team. We're still playing with our cautious mentality, but don't mind going to positive if need be. But we'll just see out the first 20 minutes first to make sure we don't let in an early goal. Bobby Duncan working hard in the first minute to win the ball back, and with 5 gone it's 0-0, and we haven't seen any action towards our goal yet. It's Chowdhury with the ball though attacking. McNair goes for the shot which is blocked. Shabola doing the work there. Williams crosses, Slater heads it, Bass tips it over the bar. Good save by the keeper. He's still going strong in the Championship, and with Johnny Burnham out, he's really stepped up to the role of captain, which has helped us immensely. Nesbitt charging into the box. Palace look on fire. They've scored at the near post. Kangin with the ball in. Unfortunately, it's just deflected around, and by the time Kangin gets there, Bass is on the other side of the goal, and the defenders have got caught ball watching. We're 1-0 down to a very good Palace side, but after our current run, I'm not too worried. We'll go and move the table in a moment so we can see where we are. We're down to 14th according to that alert, but Palace are dominating this game early on. It may be that we need to push up just to keep them away from our goal, as Bass deals with a cross that's come into the box, but with 20 minutes gone there are a lot of alarming signs as Tagzef gets the ball down the left to Lewis. If we can nick one on the break we'd be happy, but as I say that Lewis gives the ball away. Bennett charging down the right for them. They still look like they're going strong. Slater wins the header, puts it wide of the post, and we're going positive. We can't sit on the back foot against this side because they're going to absolutely dominate if so. One positive, 22nd place West Ham are losing again, this time at home to Birmingham, but that keeps the gap to 10 points then. Ralston's got the ball on the right hand side to Crawford. Jack turns his man, goes for the shot, it's straight at Gunn, but we certainly look a more potent attacking threat now we've changed to a positive mentality. As I say, that is a corner for Palace though. Reece Williams flicks it away, but only as far as Bennett. Into Sakho, what an effort that was, but just over the bar, and we survive at 1-0. Plenty of warnings to close people down, so we'll go and do that. And we deal with another Palace attack on the right here. In towards Nesbitt. It's headed away by Ralston. Goes straight to Williams though. The shot's blocked again by Ralston. Out to Williams on the left hand side. He finds Paddy McNair. Tries to cut inside to Chowdhury. He's beaten 2 men into the box. Shot straight at Bass. We're lucky to get away with that. Unfortunately, Palace are by far the better side, and it looks like we're just going to be outmatched by the better team. I have no idea why they're down in 14th. They've got some really good players, some high reputation players as well, and they're absolutely dominating the game, playing some lovely football at that. Sakho tries to cross, but it's blocked, and it's fallen to Cook now. Bennett at the back post heads it down for Bass, and I'm going to go back to cautious actually, because we're really starting to get outplayed again. It looks like they're just the better side, and we've got to make sure we keep the score down. 10 minutes to the break, and it remains 1-0. Hopefully we can keep it at that till the break. 5 minutes to the break. I thought we were going to see it out without any more highlights, but it's us on the attack this time with Ralston. He finds Crawford who shoots just wide of the post, but almost a moment of inspiration from the young attacking midfielder. Unfortunately it wasn't to be, and now Palace are on the attack again. Williams on the left to Nesbitt. He's trying to cut inside, but is forced down the line eventually. Slater up in the air, heads it to Chowdhury. He gets it to the right hand side. Now they're bringing it forward again, and they've just got so much time on the ball, but luckily Tagzef gets backed, but only clears it as far as Paddy McNair. Out to Williams on the left. They're really overloading the wings and it's catching us out. Kangin finds Chowdhury who shoots, but Bass is equal to it again to ensure it just remains 1 at the break. It's Palace with the corner. I may have spoke too soon there. McNair gets up and is headed away. Nesbitt back out to Kangin who took the corner. He's delivered. Marco heads away, but only as far as Cook. Back to Williams. I just want to see the whistle because we're really getting outplayed and I'm not enjoying it. Kangin finds Chowdhury again, and it just proves that team talks don't do much. All the lads were motivated, but nothing's happened from it. Kangin puts a shot just wide of the post, and surely now the half-time whistle will go. We've finally made it to the break. I can't remember the last time we've been outplayed that much. The match stats are all in Palace's favour and we've not even dominated possession this time. We're going to go and tell the lads to prove a point, just as we did at the start, but I don't know if there's anything I can do tactically here because we're really getting caught out quite a lot. There's nothing that stands out immediately, so we're going to get back into the game, but I think we might have to make some substitutions quite early on this time. Shibola's got the ball to Crawford. Out to the right-hand side to Ralston. This would be a good way to change the momentum. No, into Bobby Duncan. He's offside. Angus Gunn didn't know that. He made a brilliant save, but unfortunately it wouldn't have counted anyway, and now it's Palace back to normal service. Kangin in the middle to McNair. He finds Nesbitt, trying to switch it, but goes short to Slater. Good challenge in the end by the centre-half Bulldog. He clears as far as Steve Cook. Into the right back again and now Bennett. Back to the right back again. They're just keeping the ball in the middle. There's no urgency from Palace, and why would there be? As long as it's one, we've got a chance, but they're absolutely dominating the game. Ralston clears long now, and that's all it takes. Bobby Duncan's in one-on-one. Oh, he's put it wide. I was so sure he was going to find the corner of the net then, but it's just wide of the post. Agonising stuff. And we didn't really deserve it, but it would have been lovely to get back on level terms. An hour gone though, and it's Palace back on the attack again. The corner's headed away. Free kick, from the right-hand side. But the rebound's put in by the right back. And now it's game over. That's how a game changes in a couple of minutes. Our star striker misses one at one end. And unfortunately, the right back puts one in the top corner at the other. It's 2-0 now. Owen Jack's won it back, but it might be too little too late. Switches it to Lewis on the left. We'll make a sub after this highlight. Into Owen Jack at the back post. His header's poor and our strikers just seem to be having an off day. We've got another corner, but I'm going to make the changes first. Broja on for Bobby Duncan. Owen Jack switches sides. Broja goes to his preferred target man role, and that's how we normally set up with the sub. Shibola's had a poor game in the middle. We've only got Dozzle there due to the injury to Butcher. So he's going to go into the deep lying role, and we're going to switch Tagsef to the Mazzala position, which he prefers anyway. Adam Lewis, the left wing back's not had the best of games. McCabe is now trained as a left wing back, so he can come on for him. A wing back on support, he'll be fine there. Let's get back in and see the corner. Tagsef delivers the outswinger. Williams in, he's headed off the line. Two great chances now that have been cleared. One just wide at a post and one off the line. Marco's got a free kick and we're starting to dominate. McCabe's got it on the left from Dozzle. Delivers to the middle. Sacco heads away. Only as far as Tagsef and now Dozzle. He's trying to go backwards to Weiss Williams. We could have gone forward there. There were plenty of options. McCabe on the left hand side. Into Crawford on the edge. Shoots. Good save by Gunn. Tips it wide down to his left. A strong hand on that to prevent it coming back out, but brilliant work by the number 10. Dozzle's going to deliver an in-swinger. He finds the front post, but it's only the man Slater, the target man for Palace. Dozzle gets it to Crawford. He goes back inside again. Absolutely aimless, and it's only found Bulldog, but the momentum's gone and the highlight ends, and with 20 minutes to go, it's still 2-0 Palace. They've thrown it in from the right-hand side. Lee Kangin's looked an absolutely brilliant player. We're going to have to go and have a look at him. The number 10 there, he's not actually got great stats, but he's been really solid for them, the South Korean. He's really dominated the game, but now we've won it back with Ralston. We've got it to Broja. Can he find Owen Jack? He can't. He goes right to Ralston again. Two men inside him, but he crosses for Jack. Heads it in, but it's offside. Good job we saw the flag or we would have got excited. Owen Jack peeling off and making the run. He's better in the air than Duncan, which helps, but unfortunately he's not good at holding the offside trap. Chowdhury shoots into the bottom corner at the other end. Out of nowhere, a goal from 25 yards. And this has not been a 3-0 game. Probably a 1 or 2, but in the second half we've really done okay. We're back with Lee Kangin. We've asked the lads to show some passion because they've been really poor in the first half and they're starting to collapse now. They're in again, but Alex Bass makes the save and he shouldn't really be our best player when we're 3-0 down. 5 minutes to go. We'll try and see it out. We just want to avoid an embarrassing scoreline. I came back for this game because I thought it'd be the end of the run. We wanted to show the top teams as Angus Gunn does brilliantly there. He nearly got beaten by his own man at left back. It was a bit like Lee Dixon's one that, but luckily Gunn was on his line and was able to deal with it comfortably. Williams on the left finds Bennett. Good challenge by Tagsef. Crawford forward to Broja. We've got Owen Jack on the other side, but he's waiting for the overlap. He's lost the ball and Slater's in one-on-one. He's hit the crossbar and Williams clears. We're very lucky it wasn't 4 there. Absolutely terrible defending from the lads, and it looks like we've fallen apart. Owen Jack's got the ball at the back post. He finds McKay. Back to Jack again. Into Broja. Straight at the keeper, and that's a wasted opportunity. We really should have done better better there. We're still showing signs going forward, but unfortunately the lads are camera shy and it's all gone wrong for them again. Barley Mumba's come on for Crystal Palace. That's one we wanted to see. He's obviously been such an instrumental figure in this series. The first 2 years he was absolutely key, particularly that National League season where he scored the winner in the playoff final. We've got to go and look at Mumba in a moment, but Bennett's coming forward for them again. Williams inside to Mumba. He finds Paddy McNair. Out to Williams on the left-hand side again. Bennett's got the ball inside to Lee Kangin. Dominating as usual. It's deflected around. And on the rebound it's put in by the right winger. It's just a bit of luck, that one. And although it's 4-0, the lads have done okay this half. We've just had a few bits of bad luck at poor times and defended and made some silly mistakes. Overall, we've competed well. And after the run we've been on, I'm not going to get too upset about this defeat. Although it does normally mean we'll probably go 4 or 5 without a win now. As long as West Ham have a poor Christmas as well, we won't get drawn back towards the bottom. But we'll see how we react against Bradford in the next game. That will be telling. Let's go and have a look at Barley Mumba. He's on 35 grand a week now. He's become a decent player, but I'd have expected more, to be honest. He's played for a couple of championship clubs and it looks like he's there to stay. Maybe one day down the line we'll be reunited with him, but now he's on that wage, I think it could be a while. Let's go and talk to the lads. We're going to let them know how poor they were. Sean Taylor tells us to really rip into them, so we're going to do just that, and the lads are fired up from it, although they seem to react that way to everything. Let's look at what's been said about the game then. Destroyed by Crystal Palace, we probably can't argue. Swindon have sacked their manager. Marco Silva's still the favourite. We've mentioned that a couple of times before. I think it was Sarri at Bolton in League One. And we had a recent one where there was a top Premier League manager around as well. Bennett's been delighted by his manager's backing. Mauricio Pochettino, the new manager effect. I think Palace could be flying up the league quite quickly. We've slammed the team, of course we have. We were poor and made silly mistakes. But overall we're in a good position at Christmas. It's our last game before the winter period and we're in 14th place in the league. We're now 9 points clear of West Ham, who must have got a point on the board. MK Dons are down, which is good. And then it's just 2 from the rest of the pack. Hopefully we won't get sucked into it, but we could be due a bad run now. We've got Burnley of the Premier League in the FA Cup third round at home. They're down in mid-table. Probably not one worth showing as we're going to rest players. We're going to make sure that we stay up this season and not worry about the cups at all. As soon as we're in a position where we can compete in the cups, I'll take them as seriously as possible, as it's something I love in real life, and it really frustrates me that more teams don't take them seriously. But in terms of when we'll next be back, we'll try and aim for one towards the end of the January window, just so we can reflect on some transfers. So we've got Bristol City in the penultimate game of January. Whereabouts are they in the league? They're 20th, so that could be a big game. Or if we're doing quite well still, the Swansea game at the end of January could be even more important in the top half. So we'll wait and see which one of those two becomes more important. We've also got Nottingham Forest at the start of February. That could be quite a crucial game as well. So somewhere around late January, early February, we'll be back for another game from the Championship, and hopefully there'll be some more transfer news and maybe even some stadium news if we sell a few players. But that will be all for this episode. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think will happen next. It's obviously been a bit of a topsy-turvy season. We came into this one with a brilliant run, but whenever we've lost heavily before, we've gone 2 or 3 without a win afterwards. It's your last chance to tell me where you think we need to strengthen. Obviously we've arranged to get 1 or 2 in, but where should we be looking to get those high quality loan signings? I'm looking at a couple of positions, but I'm interested to know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one part of the Furniture with Torquay United, as well as our other Journeyman series, The Head Coach, where we work under a director of football with no say in transfers or contracts. It's been an exciting few episodes of that one, so go back and check it out if you haven't seen it already. But a massive thanks for watching as always, and your continued support with the series, and we'll see you next time for another big game and some transfer news.